Hey, you.
Hey,
Hey,
how are
how's it
you?
going? All okay there?
Yeah, everything is okay. We are still under lockdown, but we start see the end. So the lockdown is going to finish on next month on May the
Mm-hmm.
4th, and we will see. But I'm trying to be positive, so that's the most important things at the moment, I think.
True,
And
definitely true.
and what about there? How things going on?
Same thing. It's supposed to end on May 3rd, but the government's given all the states separate powers as to what they want to do.
Okay.
Yeah, so hopefully my state is going to decide something else, and we'll be free to roam around.
Yeah, we have our prime minister will talk tonight to the country, and so we will see the program for the phase two after the lockdown. So we will
Yeah,
see.
yeah. All right, so let's get the interview going
Cool.
because there's a time limit on Instagram, and
That's good.
I don't want that Instagram should cut us off in between the interview.
Okay.
So, first question: aviation or photography for you? What was it at first?
Well, the first the first was with the aviation back in 94, 95. So at the time I was 9, 10 years old. So I was very young
Yeah.
when it started, and everything started with the from an air base close to my city, just about 1 hour drive. It was Sunday, and I went with my father to bring some stuff to one of his customer that have a company close to the base. And at that time, there was the Operation Allied Force in Kosovo.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we had the German tornadoes deployed there.
Hmm.
And I remember we just drive close to the base, and I saw 4 or 5 tornadoes landing.
Yeah.
So yeah, from that time, like something happened, and photography was something that come just after that. So I started with the old camera from my dad. So start shooting slide and start to understand everything about photography, exposure, and ever since that. So
Going strong. Uh, so how did you get into this? Like, how did you start shooting with the military? Was it the Air Force first, or did you first get in with the army, or how was it? How did you go about it?
no, no, no. I never been in the Air Force or in the Army.
No, no, I meant
Uh,
as an embed or airside or something like that.
okay, 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 okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, I think that my first approach inside military base was through a friend of mine. We went to school together, and his dad was a good friend of a general of the Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
So we started asking, okay, why we cannot go inside base to take picture and stuff like that. At the
Yeah.
time, I was 12, like 11, 12 years old. And but after that, like I read all the magazine, like Air Forces Monthly at the time, or Combat Aircraft Illustrated, and Italian magazine as well. And I want to do the same I saw on the magazine. So I want to go inside like the real action. And so the first an online magazine in Italy, we didn't have any type of aviation online magazine before. So it was 2000 and I think it was 2003. Yeah, I think 2002, 2003. I decided to run my own website that called at the time Spotter magazine.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, I start ask my formal request to the Air Force Public Affairs, and I had some pretty good result with that. So I obtained some authorization to go make visit, start. So it was a different type of approach, but I learned a lot, and I did everything by myself. So
That's awesome.
picture, and I think if I read now my first article, it was funny, but better I do it.
What was it about, by the way?
But yeah, that helped me a lot because I grow up. So and after that, I received the first message from some editor, and I proposed myself as well to the two photos, small article, and then everything like go always better and better and better. So always more article, more pages, and actually like I can say that I can see my article almost everywhere worldwide. So from international magazine like Combat Aircraft Journal, Air Forces Monthly, to Kokufan in Japan, to Asas in Brazil, and almost all the other magazine in Europe, in Italy as well. So
yeah, that's amazing. I think a lot of people don't understand that guys like you have to start small. Everybody starts small and then climbs up eventually to having 40, 50 articles published every year.
yeah. Last year I think we reached more than 50 with my colleagues, because usually I work with the other two friends, the Daniele Faccioli and Remo Guidi. So usually we are 2 or 3 people working on the same article. But sometimes there are occasions that I'm alone or they are alone as well. So it depends.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have to say that I have to say thanks also to some editor that teach me a lot about how to make like a good article, and yeah, they teach me a lot, and they trust me as well when I was young. So sometimes it's not easy to find someone that trusts in you when you are very young.
Yeah, true. So what was your first assignment like? You just told me you got into the base. Which aircraft were they?
Well, yeah. The first. Um, I think that maybe one of the most important. Yeah, I can speak about that. One of the first real embed I did in real action was back in 2011 in Afghanistan.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a request. Like I sent a request with like almost zero hope. But yeah, because I was like I was at the beginning at that time. So and I know that like the armed forces, they like to have in the war zone like some journalists with a lot of background. But I tried. They trust me, and so I went to Afghanistan with the Italians, and yeah, that was a very nice experience for me, because it's something completely different from what I did before.
Yeah.
Because you find yourself on where the real action happened. So and after I did another one that was probably also better than the first one, because it was more long, and I traveled all across the west side of that was the command of the Italian armed force. So from Herat to Shindad to Balamurgab and Farah. But yeah, when you stay there, it's completely different style of how you're working, because it's like a 24 hours. So you are always inside a military base. outside with the vehicle. So you have also time to learn from the people. And and you can learn also from the public affairs officer. How can I say, they teach you how to approach the war, how to approach maybe a commander, or also with the public affairs unit. So sometimes it's also about the relation you have with the people, about what you can have after your request.
Yeah. So let's take a question from Severe Rocket. He asks, any challenges faced in Afghanistan? And I'll put in an additional question. What was the training like before you got shipped over there?
What
was the training like before you went to Afghanistan? Did they train you into basic medicine, or how to,
No, nothing special. I think that you have to, when you are there, you have to learn that everything can change quickly. So maybe you have some photo shoot set up, also air-to-air photo shoot, like I did air-to-air with the army there. But you are inside a war, so everything can change. Maybe the helicopter must go to another place for bring staff or bring soldier, and so you must be flexible. And I can say something funny, that on the first time I did my first air-to-air in Afghanistan with -13, -14 degrees without gloves from the side door of the helicopter. Yeah, because I was like adrenaline. I completely forgot my gloves in the bag. So
were you able to click the shutter at all?
So that was funny. I remember, because I was near freezing. I can't feel anything. So at one point I had to put my hand inside the bulletproof, so try to keep it out a little bit and start shoot again, because really I can't feel my finger. So
Which aircraft were they back then for the air-to-air?
For the air-to-air, I shoot from an AB-205 from the army. Yeah, we took off because I spoke with the commander before, and he told me that on the day after, 4 A129 Mangusta and 2 Chinook, they will be on their way back from Faras, or from south. And he told me, okay, we have some spare hours that you can use for take some picture in the air. So that's your crew, and that will be your helicopter. Talk with your crew and set up a photo shoot in the air. So I say, what? Crazy? Are you joking me? So, but yeah, after everything was real, and we set up. We look on the map and we find a nice area with a nice background, and we took off 30 minutes before we reached the area. We waited for the other helicopter to come, and we did a very nice air-to-air. It was my first air-to-air in Afghanistan. It was fantastic.
Was it your first air-to-air ever?
No, that was my first air-to-air in Afghanistan. Just after 24 hours, I arrived there, and it was unbelievable, because at the beginning it was unbelievable that I was there. And once I was there, they told me I can do an air-to-air there. So it was... That was really unbelievable. Yeah. I will never forget that time. And after I did another one on the same embed, that was very nice. So.
But let me just go back a bit. Then, how was your first air-to-air experience like? Which aircraft was it?
Good question. The first air-to-air experience, I think it was with let me think, because really I can't remember which one was my first time in the air. Shooting from the air. Yeah, I think it was with the army in Italy. During some regular training they do before the tour in Afghanistan. They do.
Okay.
I don't know if they are still doing twice or just once a year. They perform a sort of training with all the units that are going to deploy in Afghanistan.
Like a pre-deployment kind of training.
Yeah, I think that probably that was my first air-to-air from an helicopter. Yeah, and
Yeah.
after I moved on, and I start the air-to-air from the ramp door of the aircraft, and so on. Yeah, but yeah, the
Which
first
year
air-to-air
was
was
the
from a
first air to
helicopter.
air?
Hmm?
Which year was the first air to air?
Which year?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, honestly, I can't remember. Yeah, I think maybe 2000 and yeah, I think probably it was 2007, 2008, something like that. But yeah, honestly, I had to check. I can let you know, but because
Yeah.
I travel so much, and sometimes like I lost the idea of how much time has passed from that day. Sometimes I look at a picture and I say, oh, that's 10 years already. So
Yeah, true. So, what was your first jet aircraft ride like? Because you sent me a photo of you in a Typhoon, I guess.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
from last year, like a 16 September.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
How was
from
that?
my
How
first
was...
my first jet ride, and I started from the top, from the Eurofighter. Yeah, I was so nervous. Like, trust me, my friend, I was so nervous that day because they gave me the chance, and I know that you cannot miss that chance. You have to do the job, and you have to do it good. So I was after the fly, I was very happy with the result because it was my first time. So I was sure that I'm going to doing a lot of mistake because I can see the shot from some of the best like Katsu Tokunaga or Jamie Hunter or Frank Krebas. But you know when you see the picture, it's one thing, but when you are inside and you have to do that picture, it's not the same thing because everything happened for a reason, and trust me, it's not easy. It's not easy. And you learn a lot after just one fly because
Wow.
after just one fly you learn how things happen in the air, how fast the things happen in the air, and so no, really, like. If I remember now, I can't wait to do another one because I want to see if I not do that mistake again.
Yeah, yeah. If you
Because
improved.
because yeah, because I think that in that kind of photography, it's all about experience. I think for some kind of photos. So as more as you do, as more as you learn. So
Yeah. Would you like to share some of those lessons? Because Fuji told me a lot about how he ended up removing glare from the shot and about G forces, and he wanted a light camera body, a light lens combination. So because many times he's
what
taking G's.
well, honestly, I asked to the. I have to be honest. Like I asked to the pilot to do the because I also don't know how my body can react to fly in a jet because that was the
Yeah.
first time. So I can I feel good. That's okay, but you don't know what happened. So
Yeah.
it's the
True.
first time. You can think. I think I started think 1 month before and how my body can react to the G forces, to the speed, to everything. As I told you before, I was nervous, but as soon as we take off, I realized that was something special. You know, that's the first feeling. Like I imagined something that you can feel like the airplane moving, but it was like a cut the air, like everything was smooth.
That
and
would have been very
and
great.
I asked to the pilot that is a very good friend of mine, and I told him like, okay, maybe for the first part, don't push too much because
Yeah.
I don't want to get sick, I don't want to
Yeah.
get in trouble, and I have to take the picture. So I think that the first hour was very quiet. I just got some problem with the negative G. After we do some maneuver and we close that maneuver with negative G, and I
Nose
remember like
dipped, yeah.
we were straight, but I see the world upside down for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I told to the pilot, yeah, please, can you stay straight for a minute? He told me, hey, we are straight. Okay.
Yeah.
that was fun. But after that, like, I never like feel sick or stuff like that. And before I returned to the base, after we did the photos, he provided me like he let me know how fast can go an Eurofighter. So we go from the minimum speed to near maybe 1,000 kilometers per hour just in some second. That was like unbelievable.
That's awesome. So we'll just take one
But I
question.
think I didn't go more than 5 Gs during that flight, so that was okay. Not
5 Gs, yeah. Okay.
yeah, that because I don't want to push too much. I don't know how I can react, as I told you. So I want to do the job and take good picture. So that was the most important thing. So maybe for the next flight, I will try to ask some more and more and more and see how and to see my limit. So.
How did you fight off the glare and everything? Because I know that the Typhoon cockpit is full of LEDs and you're wearing straps yourself. How did you do that?
About the glare, the reflection on the cockpit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question because at the beginning I thought to bring like the black rubber in order to put the camera close to the cockpit, but after that I thought with myself. I say I never used that, so that was my first fly. I don't want to get in trouble with stuff I don't know how to use. So I decided to just go with one camera, one lens, plus one another body as reserve, just in case something happens. Like everything can happen.
Yeah.
And I try to be careful about the glare. Yeah, I had some shot that had there, but it's something easy like to remove with Photoshop. So
okay, but
so
which kit were you carrying?
Yeah, if I will have the chance to fly again, I will definitely want to try like the black rubber around the lens to remove the glare from the beginning. Yeah. But the first time I didn't feel I want to use it because like I was already nervous and I don't want to do something different from from what I usually do. So even I had a GoPro from the squadron to put it in the front of me, but I don't use it because I was already like my brain was full already of information what I have to do and everything. So.
Good. So, which kit were you carrying up there? What kind of kit?
Which type
camera equipment? What type of camera?
Yeah, I always since the beginning I use Nikon. So actually, I have 2 Nikon D750 that I full frame that I really love it. It's not so fast when you have to shoot like a lot. Like you can reach like a 7, I think 8 raw file
frames a second. Okay.
Yeah, in a sequence. And but I really love it. I really love it, the file, and you can work on it very good. You not lose quality when you work on it, and that's the most important part, I think, because before I had the D500, but I really don't like it. I really don't like it because, in my opinion, that's obviously that's something personal. But I don't like it because of too much grain under the shadow, and I don't like the file of the D500. I used it for maybe 1.5 years, maybe about 2 years.
Yeah.
But that's a camera that I think when you use it in a normal situation, that's not special. But when you need to go over the limit of the camera, the D500 start works. So I took some shots that I think that are near impossible with some other camera, but I did it with D500. So So but yeah, as I told you, I decided to pass to the full frame and the D750.
Okay. So which lens were you carrying for the
The
headwear?
24-120, always Nikon, everything from Nikon. The
Yeah.
F4, that is a very sharp, very sharp. I love it. Is they had some maybe problem with the vignetting, I think it's in English, when you use it like a full, but that's okay. It's something you can easily remove in post production. Then I have 70-200 2.8 that I call it my
Great lens,
girlfriend
yeah.
because it's always with me. So the 7
Yeah.
that's a must. I think that's nothing better than than this lens. And I recently bought the 200 500 from Nikon.
Wow. Yeah. Kedar uses that one.
But I still didn't have the chance to do a good test with it. So because I bought it at the end of last year, so I just did 2 trips with it. But I was every time I was so close, so I don't need it. So I don't know. But I just took some shot, and the quality is very high. Like for the price, it's a very good quality, I think.
That's good. That's good.
And for the cockpit shot, as I send you and you post it, I think the cockpit shot I used the 10.5 fisheye, always from Nikon, the 2.8.
Yeah.
That is naturally, yeah, that's one. That is that this lens is for DX, so I bought for my D500, but I just discovered that you can use it also on the full frame without the problem of the black frame around, because the D750 has something inside the software that you can use the DX lens without any problem, and you just have like a smaller file, but the quality is very high. So
that's good. That's good. I love this shot. I actually love this shot because you can see him that he's prepping his flight and his flight data system. He's setting up that and all these things. He's got his maps out. I absolutely love this shot.
Yeah, and that like for that shot, I think that the light that go inside the cockpit was perfect that afternoon.
Perfect.
Was
Yeah,
like
true.
really on the perfect angle. So sometimes it's also about lucky. So
so I want to talk about this shoot because I've seen videos of the shoot being done by the aviationist.
Yeah, David. Yeah,
David. Yeah.
David.
So how did this come about? And I think this was in Iceland.
Yeah, that was in Iceland. It was in October 2019. The Italian Air Force was the first Air Force with the F-35 that deploys under NATO for the air policing in Iceland with the F-35. So our public affairs office decided to do a media tour along with the NATO public affairs office in Iceland, and for that occasion they decided also to do an air-to-air photo shoot during a Tango Scramble mission. And so they came to Iceland with the C-130, and we set up the photo shoot. So we discussed everything with the pilots and with the crew of the C-130 before the takeoff. So everything was planned, and it was funny because it's I supposed to be on the radio talking with everyone, but I still don't know why the loadmaster of the C-130 didn't allow to use the
There's some network issues. All good? Yeah.
And so I can't use the radio to talk with the pilots and the crew in the cabin of the C-130. So I think I did a sort of 5 minutes briefing with the loadmaster because he can keep the radio. So I explained in 5 minutes like aviation photography. So, yeah. No, trust me, that was funny. But
you guys were already flying.
But yeah, like we just took off, and I spoke with him. Okay, like that, I show him on the paper because I prepared a briefing. I show him on the paper. We have to do that. We have to do that kind of break with that kind of angle and everything. But I can honestly say that he did like a fantastic job, because I did probably one of my best shots from last year that maybe I can show you. That is, yeah, I love this one, but I think that this one is the best one from that photo shoot.
Oh, yeah.
And that break was special for me also because I did 5 cover on international magazine with it, and it's unbelievable that I did it without talk with the pilots at that moment. Probably if I talk with them, maybe it was different. I don't know. So sometimes it's also about be at the right place at the right time, with also some luck on your shoulder. So
and maybe sometimes you have to adapt, because not every photographer, not all guys would have been like. You have to adapt to the situation.
Because I lost the connection.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yeah, so I mean, it was good decision making on your part that you decided to adapt and make him understand instead of taking the entire matter into your hands.
You mean like about the planning for take the
picture?
Yeah,
with the discussion for the loadmaster.
Well, I try to explain. I try to explain him like I did a setup with I think 7-8 event, because I know that we are going to have 45 minutes, maybe 1 hour, because the fighter jet, they really did like a tango scramble. So after they did like they did their things, and after they came to us for the photo shoot. So I think in total we had 45 minutes, but the main issue was that we didn't have harness for everyone on board, and we also had the television coming from Italy, and the military photographers from NATO, and we had 3 harness plus 2 for the loadmaster. So as you can imagine, from 7 to 8 event, because in different groups and 15 minutes for each group. But before the takeoff, I talked with the pilots. I saw the route that we are going to do. So I tried to understand which was the best. How can I say, the best turn for me to go on the ramp and take picture. So me and David and the other colleague Ricardo, we decided to stay as first on the ramp. So we did the first turn at the beginning, and it was perfect, I think, because the background was lovely, and the airplane, like they really understand from the briefing before what they have to do. So even if I didn't have the headphone, like they really performed very well, and I think we got some of the best air-to-air shot that we ever made from the F-35, I think. Also the light was incredible at that time. Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Now it's okay.
Yeah. Was it an early morning shoot?
No, it was about. I think I was like maybe 11, 12 o'clock. Yeah, but the sun in Iceland, it's very low.
Yeah.
So it's,
everything feels like a dust.
Yeah, it's very, very, very low. But luckily, trust me, I've been in Iceland 3 times, but I always like find terrible weather, like a cold, windy, and snowing, raining. That is part of the game, especially in Iceland. Maybe you have like 10 days of full sun during the year. But luckily we got it with the F-35, and the results, in my opinion, are fantastic. So everyone was very happy with it. So
Great. Were you using the 70 to 200 with it?
sorry?
Were you using the 70 to 200 with it for the shoot?
No, almost the 70. I kept two body camera, one with the 7-200 and one with the 24-120. But I think for that photo shoot I always use the 24-120 because they were very close. They
Plus, you
feel
want
very
some
close.
kind of a wider, wanted to show the background as well. Yeah. So, talk about another one of the shoots which I posted on my page. It's the takeoff of the Typhoon in full burner.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, how did this come about?
Yeah, that was in Trapani in Sicily, one of the Italian islands down south. Like a Trapani for me is like a second home. I have a lot of friends at the squadron, at the maintenance. So it's I can say that I grew up inside that base, and I have also some relation with them that are also outside from the aviation photography. So and yeah, that shot was I stayed there 3 days before take this shot because I arrived there on Sunday and I did the first day of visit on Monday, then Tuesday, and Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and that was like the last chance to take this picture, because if you have like a full sunset, you cannot see the deep of the sky, but with the clouds, it's different. Like you have more deepness inside the picture. And I remember that the first 2 days, that usually in Italy, Monday and Tuesday are days for night activity. So they start and they finish late in the evening. But on both days, Monday and Tuesday, the weather was completely bad, like almost raining all day. At the end, we had the chance on Wednesday, but they are not going to fly in the evening, so not at sunset. They just fly during the day, so it's not the same. If I remember well, I think that they postponed the mission due to the weather. So the takeoff time, it was like near the sunset, just maybe 10-15 minutes later. So I went to the commander and also to another friend, and I asked them, okay, if they can anticipate the takeoff timing just in time for the sunset, because it was like the very last light of the day. Trust me.
Yeah.
And so they say, okay, that's no problem. Like we can set it up just 10-15 minutes before. It's not a problem. I remember that I went to the position. I decided to take that picture because with the Eurofighter in full afterburner, it's just like maybe 150 meters since it started takeoff. He is on rotation already.
So similar to the
close to the spot I decided, and I can hear the jet, like the engine start of the jet, but they still don't moving, and the sun still go down. Yeah, at one point I remember, like I text a message to one of the pilots with WhatsApp and they say, you need to go now, please, because this is perfect. As soon as the message arrived, you start moving, texting, and waiting for the clearance, and we take off. And the first takeoff was perfect, I think.
Yeah.
The second one was too high already because we had two takeoffs, but the first one was perfect.
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to ask you, how was your takeoff in the Typhoon with you as a backseater?
Normal
No,
takeoff.
no,
Yeah.
no burner.
Not full performance because the pilot told me, okay, if you want to try the afterburner, we
Yeah.
lost 10 minutes for the picture.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah,
I say, no, that's better normal takeoff.
yeah. I plus the same thing you said. Like, who knows what might have happened if you would have gone full burner and straight up and all these things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, and I still don't know. I hope that maybe one day I can let you know. I hope,
Yeah.
but I didn't try, like, because the airplane, like, they not just a mission for take photos. So
Yeah,
photos
okay.
was part of the mission, but the real mission was another one. So
Yeah. Let's just take a question. Have you shot with any aerobatic teams? Just from photo key.
no, not in the air, just on the ground with. But it's not my main interest. I want to do maybe something with the Frecce Tricolori. Maybe I have. Yeah, I start thinking that I want to do it, but still nothing prepared about it. But yeah, that's something I want to do it. But I won't try. I won't try a different way to approach that kind of unit that are quite. I think that they are different from operational unit. So
Yeah.
since
Plus,
they
they
are
are
acrobat.
engaged in public activities so much anyway.
Mm.
Yeah. So there's a different approach to that. Uh, so last but not the least, I want to talk about your experience being on an aircraft carrier because you've spoken about Afghanistan, you've spoken about the air. Now let's get into the sea. How was it being on an aircraft carrier?
Well, it's fantastic. It's like you are on another world. I think it's magic on a carrier because if you see the people working on a flight deck, uh, they can speak each other. They just speak with hands and signal and stuff like that. But everything is it's perfect. So everyone is it's it's at the right place at the right time, and everything happened perfectly. So especially at night, because you have like a zero light on the flight deck at night. You just see the light from the cruise
Yeah.
ship and
Yeah.
everything. So yeah, and something that is really special is that most of the guys that work on the flight deck are very young. They are like 19, 20 years old,
Yeah.
sometimes even smaller. So they are moving like a jet that costs like $100 million, and they are like so young, but at the same time so professional. Also because they work usually. If I remember well, like they told me that they do like a turn for 16 hours working. Then they have like then they can go sleep, and then they work again, and everything is still going and going and going. They never stop because once you have the jet launch, maybe 20, 24 jets, after you have like a 20, 24 recovery just after that because the flight deck is empty. So,
Just
but yeah, that's a very nice experience. I think it's being on aircraft carriers is something special also for someone that don't care about aviation, because it's you can see the power of a
yeah.
carrier. They are like so big,
The
and
cat shot. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and it's something special also because you arrive with the C2, so you try the trap, and you try also the launch from the flight deck with the from the cat. That's special. That's special. I was lucky to be on board 5 times. On the Eisenhower the first time, the Nimitz. After that, the Truman, the Bush at the first cruise, also with the Growler. That was a nice one, and the last one on the Roosevelt.
Oh, yeah. In the news right now.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
all the embark I did, they started from Bahrain, where the U.S. Navy, they have the command of the U.S. Navy Fifth Fleet. They control like the operation in the Arabia Sea, Indian Ocean, in the Persian Gulf, and all this area. So, but yeah, that was a very nice experience also because it's completely different from what you can imagine. Like it's
Yeah.
completely. You have to shoot on the flight deck with the Google.
And
So
the cranial.
yeah, with the cranium,
Yeah.
with the Google,
Yeah.
and you can hear no one. So you are briefed before go out on the flight deck, and you always like what your step and what you are doing, and but it's as I told you, like everything is coordinated. It seems like a completely chaos, but everything is coordinated. So if you are briefed like and you are with the guys from the flight deck, you are always safe. I remember that sometime like I look at the airplane and I told I thought with myself, yeah, this airplane is coming through us, but after that like it turned. So and yeah, that was magic. That was magic. But the
So
best part I think is when you land on the carrier. That's nice because it's like a crash on the wall.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you fly like because the seat inside the seat
Yeah.
too
It's
you
inverted.
fly
Yeah.
you fly reverse, and you can see outside because there are only two small windows, and usually the loadmaster they sit on the near the window, so you just hear that they are starting to
Descent. Yeah.
yeah, the
Yeah.
descending, and at one point, you have the signal that here we go, we go, and that just 3 seconds later you crash
Talam.
on the carrier, and but this was fantastic. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's something that I wish that everyone can try once in a life because it's the aircraft carrier is fantastic. I know that now it's not easy to, especially in. From Bahrain to have access to the aircraft carrier. Before, I think it was a little bit easier, but now it's almost impossible, I think, to be on board.
Yeah.
So I think
But
I was lucky to have five embarks before, but I think that last one was already too long time ago. So I
yeah,
really want to go
maybe,
back one day.
maybe next, maybe the sixth time should be a cat shot in F-18 Super Hornet.
Maybe, maybe, maybe. I wish something different, something
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
So
So one of our viewers, Photoki, he had this great question. You being so well connected with NATO, shooting with the U.S. Navy, going to Afghanistan and other European countries is like a given. But how did you end up shooting the Chinese Air Force?
the Chinese Air Force was in
Yeah.
Russia,
Hmm.
during the International Army Games,
Oh,
because
okay.
in I think last year was the fourth edition. Yeah, because this year, if they are not going to cancel,
Hmm.
they like Russia host the International Army Games. That are different type of game. I think they have maybe 35 or 36 different competition, from sniper to tank to everything.
Bombing. Yeah.
But inside that type of competition, they have also the aviadars. That is the aviation competition that usually see the Russian Air Force, obviously, the Chinese, Belarus, Kazakhstan, and and in the past they had also well, I forgot right now, but yeah, usually that four countries like Russia, Chinese, and Belarus, and Kazakhstan. So well, I think how I obtain the authorization is a long story, and trust me, I honestly have no idea of all the steps that the editor took to get us in Russia to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have a lot of people ask me about that because we are me and the other two guys. We are probably the only European or Western people allowed in the last 2 years, and I still can remember that the first time we arrived at the front gate and someone come outside and say, "What you are doing here?"
Yeah.
we have the authorization, so he checked and he said,
You would have checked it
yeah,
multiple
you're on
times.
the list. You're welcome. You can come in.
Yeah.
But
That's good. That's good.
so yeah, no, that was something funny, because we expect that maybe we had a different treatment because we are Western that are allowed to go inside the Russian air base.
Yeah.
But trust me, for them we are like the Russian journalist or the Russian photographer. For them, if you are authorized, you are same them. So no, nothing, nothing special for us, you know.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we were allowed to shoot everything during that competition, from the Russian stuff to the Chinese. Obviously, for so many reasons, the Chinese was something special. And it's J10. So
the fighter,
without any type limits, like we can walk on their fly line without any type of restriction.
Sometimes.
So yeah, that's.
Sometimes I feel the Russians are much more chilled out than the Western countries in terms of safety procedure, in terms of FOD and whatnot.
No, honestly, I think that if I have to say about, I traveled a lot, and I can say that like the military world, it's the same everywhere.
Okay.
So they are not like a different type of approach. It's I always have the feeling inside a military airbase that the military world is, yeah, as I told you, it's the same everywhere. Maybe they have like a different type of approach. I mean that if I remember the first time, I remember that they just gave us one rule. I remember, but they spoke in Russian, so no one can understand. I just can understand some small word, but because my ex-girlfriend was she speak Russian, so I understand. And I remember that that guy say that, okay, that you cannot stay closer than 5 meters from the runway. But when he did like this, I thought like the same maybe in another country that it was like 50 meters from the runway. That for me it's close already.
Yeah.
I didn't say like 5 meters. And they say sorry because this year we have like we have this rule that you cannot stay on the border of the runway, but you have to stay like 5 meters back. So I said, okay, that's the rule. That's not the rule. That's okay.
Yeah. I think the closest I've been must have been like 150 meters. So anyway, last couple of questions. Any dream aircraft? 2 questions with this. Dream aircraft you want to fly in, and dream aircraft you want to shoot?
Well, I want to fly if someone told me, okay, you can choose the aircraft, probably I choose the Mirage 2000.
Really?
Yeah. It's fascinating. I think like Delta Wing, it's lovely. I'm really in love with the Delta Wing, and every time like I see the Mirage, I'm in love with it. So if I have to choose, I think the Mirage 2000. Probably.
Okay. Not the Rafale, the newer Delta, crop Delta.
No, I start from the old one because I think that the new one they will stay for a long time. So I don't want to miss the chance to fly with the oldest one. So no, but I spoke with some pilots, also some Italian Eurofighter pilots that during the Tiger Meet they had the chance to fly with the Rafale, and everyone told me that it's awesome. It's an awesome aircraft.
Okay. And one aircraft which you want to take photos of in an air-to-air situation?
MiG-31.
Really?
Yeah, MiG-31.
Wow.
Yeah, if one day, I'm working hard to try to do it, but it's not easy. It's not easy. So but the MiG-31 is one of my main targets, especially in that in that far air base close to Alaska, like the Russian Navy air base close to Alaska, with the Balkan in the background, and there's no, I don't know, but I grew up with that picture in mind, and I hope that one day I will have the chance to have like a very nice visit in a MiG-31 unit. I know it's like a sort of mission impossible, because I'm lucky enough that the Russian allowed me to do the aviadars, because that's something international, so it's different. But I hope that maybe one day when the relation maybe will be more strong, because also what I do is also a lot about the relation you keep with the public affairs unit, with the pilots, with everything. You must there must be like respect from each other, I think, and friendship. So when they understand your needs and you do something with respect to them, I think you can always like ask for more and more and more. But yeah, I think it's relation with the people is probably one of the most important aspects in that type of I can say in that type of business, I think.
Definitely.
As last week I remember the guy from 3G explained also about the relation, like how much time you have to invest to talk with people and to do something. So it's nothing happen like this, like 1, 2, 3, like maybe it's once every 5 years you can send a request, and after 5 minutes you receive, okay, yes, you can come and do what you want. That's not how things work.
Doesn't work that way.
No. Sometimes it's lucky, sometimes it's timing, like to make a request at the right time, because like every Air Force have something that want to show, something that they don't want to show. So if you start a request asking something that they don't want to show, like you lose already, I think. So maybe maybe that something is more interesting for you, but maybe you can start from that things that they want to show, and then you can arrive to the other things. But that's every time it's a long process, so it's not easy every time. So
true. Okay, Gio, thank you so much for giving me your time on a Sunday.
It was my pleasure, my friend. It was nice to talk with you, and I say hi everyone who's watching, and stay safe there, and I hope the best for everyone soon.
Same to you guys. We know Italy's been through a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Take care, Gio.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you very much, my friend.